Hi, everyone. Welcome to Cannabis Tech Talks, your weekly source for news and insights at the intersection of cannabis and technology. Shout out to our title sponsor, PolyScience, for supporting this podcast and helping us bring you the latest developments in this exciting field. I'm Patricia Miller, Executive Editor with Cannabis and Tech Today. Joining me today is the multi-talented actor and cannabis cultivator, Jim Belushi. We're chatting about global cannabis policy, cultivation tech, and brand expansion in this special episode. So I watched the new season, season 3 of Growing Belushi. I just watched the Albania episode this weekend. And God, it looks like you guys are having fun and getting to explore some really cool parts of the world.
Yeah, that episode was actually a 2-episode arc.
Yeah.
And they brought it down to 1. So
okay.
There's another 40 minutes of Albania. That is so fantastic.
So,
but you deal with the industry again. There's creative and then the industry. Yeah. So we had to cut it down. But on YouTube, I put out both episodes.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's very good, emotional, it's funny, it's informative. And we do a lot of stuff in Lazarat, where the legal grow was that was supplying most of the EU. They were getting like $5 billion out of that place. So very interesting, the story there about the war that happened there and with the government. And anyway, it's cool.
Yeah, I'd love to check that out. I'm curious, what have you been hearing from viewers as far as what do you think they find most surprising about the series and the places it takes you?
Literally on the way back to my room, the bartender here for the juices, "Hey man, I saw your show, man." And I said, what made you pick it? Because it's on Max now, right? You have a lot of different choices. What made you pick it? And he goes, "I was right in the middle." And the most reaction I get is it's funny.
Yeah.
People want to laugh, So we try to sneak in, purpose, medicine, greater good within the comedy, because people want to laugh,
Yeah,
my cousin and I got a good thing going.
Yeah, I'm surprised how well Chris has taken to the camera. He seems really graceful on there.
He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. That's the beauty of it. He's a natural and doesn't even know
it. I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like Walter Matthau.
Well, what have you found most rewarding about getting to share the series with people?
Well, it just there's a lot of people out there that are still very ignorant about cannabis. I mean, people that are intelligent people, just don't know anything about it. I mean, where do I get it? Well, it's called a dispensary.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes that far. So the most rewarding thing is bringing on new consumers and their curiosity. And I think it gives them a little confidence. I mean, that's the whole purpose, is to bring confidence to cannabis, right? So I think that's the most rewarding thing, is seeing people be educated a little bit, bringing our confidence up to take a shot at it,
Yeah, it's cool. I was reading some of people's reactions online, and my favorite part was when people were like, "Oh, I didn't realize that's how it was done," or that's what it looks like to grow something commercially. It's just cool to see people who really have no idea what it's like. They feel like they've got an entry point. And especially with streaming services, like you mentioned, you're on Max now. I think Prime Video also carries you Discovery Plus. So people have got all these different ways to access the show, and kind of they can do it discreetly on their own time when it's okay for them to feel like they can explore that. I think that's cool,
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
It's nice because it continues to live. Discovery was a pretty limited platform. We're finding that a lot of people don't even have cable anymore.
Yeah.
So, and Discovery's purely cable. So now that it's on Max, it's great. Anybody can get it.
Yeah, I think that's great. It just gives people an entry point, and they feel like, it's okay to be curious and check it out. And what better way to laugh and connect with someone that you're familiar with already, and get into that space. Check it out.
Yeah, and the show is not, it's not about stoners.
Right.
It's not about, nobody's getting high on my show. It's not like we're sitting around smoking grass. It's really about the industry. It's about the struggle in the industry, and it's about the medicine. And you can't make a lot of claims on TV. They cut a lot of stuff out where we were talking about how it helps people.
Huh.
Yeah. Discovery was like, well, we don't want to get a lawsuit.
Okay.
You said that, this is really good for seizures. You got to word it right. They say it helps with seizures. You got to, I mean, last season we did a whole section on making RSO.
Oh, yeah.
And we had to cut out the special ingredient. And we couldn't claim that it really helped with cancer because I think they ended up cutting the whole thing,
Wow.
Yeah. It was a great little section. But again, those kinds of things I've saved and put them on YouTube. I said, look, there's so much material that we shot that the parameters of Discovery wouldn't allow. But on YouTube, you can put it up. So I'm starting kind of a YouTube channel, with the extra episodes, with extra scenes that were cut out. So trying to get it out there, trying to get the message out there,
Good. Yeah, I'd hate to think that so much of that cool educational part would be cut, but I understand we run into that as well, how you can say things and on what platform, and what gets censored, even if it's like they don't tell you it's censored. So,
yeah.
Like,
what happened to that? I'm watching it on TV. I'm going, they didn't even tell me they took that out. What the?
Well, so
letters from lawyers, and
oh wow.
Yeah. Well, it's networking. Look, we were lucky because we're really the only cannabis show out there. When we sold the show, nobody would pick it up except Discovery. And it was like, hey, dig your balls, man. Great. And it was great. So I'm grateful to them.
Yeah, I love it. I think it makes it more approachable. And some of the other shows I've seen that maybe touch on cannabis, where it's like a cooking show or whatever, I feel like they kind of miss the mark a little bit. So I appreciate getting to see some of the industry side of it on TV, where like a totally unexposed audience can kind of get a taste of it. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the testing, how intense the testing is, and making sure that it's clean. It's so important, right?
Mm-hmm. And in the Albania episode, I was researching. So Albania still hasn't legalized it, but do you think it's likely that they're going to? I mean, you're familiar with it.
Well, I know the prime minister. I've known him for years. I mean, it's not like we're best friends or anything, but I know him. I've spent many hours with him. He is really he is a great leader for that country. I like him very much and what he's done. I mean, Albania was, in the dark ages, and he's brought it up to, it's a very cosmopolitan city now. They're building hotels. The food is fantastic. I mean, fantastic. It was like, why would I go to Italy? Look at this. The hotels are nice. The pricing is reasonable there. They have tourism is just jumping because young people come from like Italy or Austria or Germany just for the weekend because the tickets are inexpensive, the food is they have clubs. It's just a very sophisticated growth process that he's doing. And he believes, there's this place called Lazarus that was growing a legal market, and it was a whole village, 700 people. And, they weren't bad people, but the bad people forced them, they gave the price they wanted to give them, but it was a business for that community. It was a custom, and they loved the plant. Anyway, there was a 3-day battle. The prime minister sent the army and police and shut it down.
Wow.
And it's actually an area that I'm looking at to start our growth if it becomes legal. He okayed it. Well, he's starting very slow, starting with trying to get medical export first, and then slowly, as the Albanians move forward, get a medical license and one day recreational. But they're also trying to get into the EU. So I don't know how welcoming the EU is at this point to pass that law. So I think he's walking a thin line to get it legalized for export. So that's a little hiccup right now.
Yeah.
But he'll get it. I mean, he took a survey of the country, and it was like 73% of the people thought it was a good idea.
Wow. That's awesome.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, it seems like it'd be a great place to grow, based on what you guys discussed, at least in the episode. So I think that'd be an exciting option. And I know internationally there's a lot of big changes happening. Germany's looking at legalization. You're speaking at the International Cannabis Business Conference later this month.
Yeah.
How are you seeing sort of international perceptions change around cannabis?
Slow.
Yeah.
We shot something. I went and spoke at a school, and young people, I mean, at school, college age. And I couldn't believe the blowback I got from these young people about cannabis. I mean, they were saying things that were said in the United States in the 60s, I mean.
Really?
Oh, it leads to harder drugs and, whoa. Are you talking about what your parents are talking about? Or are you really? I was shocked. And there is a prevailing sentiment that still, is present in that side of the world about cannabis, So the more we do, the more TV shows we do, the more press we do, the more, people getting legal. It's bringing it, it's floating it up, but I think it's still slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people like Germany, their pay rates, their labor is so expensive that to produce marijuana, to produce cannabis, they're better off importing it. And so we'll see how that goes. But that would be one of our major exports if we did grow in Albania, is Germany. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, Spain is friendly to it. And England's not,
Mm-hmm.
France, Amsterdam's getting cool, and Denmark, and Italy is, it's taking time. It's going to take time.
Yeah, it's a real patchwork right now.
Yeah. But then there's Macedonia and Greece and producing, terrific amounts of cannabis, but not very good.
Why do you think
Albania
that is?
is actually known for that Lazarus site was known for their quality. And then I met with the villagers, and I can see why, because they really cared for this plant. They weren't just like, oh, it's produced for this Russian, organized crime. They took pride in their farmers, they're agriculturists, and they took pride in it. So I heard it was pretty good.
That's cool.
Well,
Well, so speaking of taking pride in a grow, I visited your farm in, I think it was 2019, and it was super gorgeous. Have you implemented more technology into the farm or any automation since I visited?
well, yeah. I mean, the second season covers a lot of what we did. We took down the the grow houses, the hoops,
Yeah.
and basically built 4 greenhouses. And during the second season, we show us building 2 state-of-the-art grow houses. And we had great sponsors that brought in lights. We had total grow control with the sensors that told us all the humidification. Lights, moved the lights up and down as the clouds came. We had great dehumidifiers coming in. We use advanced nutrients, which really help. Dual draft. We literally went to the Vegas and started grabbing some. And this season we do it even more because we took over a grow in Illinois, and this building was 5 to 7 years old, and boy, did it need upgrade.
Yeah.
So we brought in Rad Source. We brought in different lighting companies. We brought in Nick and Eden Water out of Vegas to give us the fertigation system, which is an unbelievable new system. I mean, it's like a Ferrari. It's beautiful. But we still have trouble with the HVAC. We got a bunch of and dehumidifiers, which balanced everything out of those rooms. Some of those rooms didn't have dehumidifiers, and it was like, how are you growing without dehumidifiers? So, it was pretty old school. So we upgraded that. We're doing a lot of, again, Andin, Eden Water, total grow control. What else we got? Dual draft. Rad Source, which is helping with make sure everything is out of that plant.
We're going to take a quick break to pay the bills. When we get back, we'll have more from Jim Belushi.
Every cultivator knows that facility design can make or break your grow. So why not choose the team with over 16 years of experience in the industry? Cerna Cultivation Technologies provides floor plan and architectural services, comprehensive HVACD equipment, lighting, and benching, and so much more, all within your budget. It's time to grow your way. Go to Cerna.com, that's SURNA.com, to learn more.
We automated our packaging because we're licensed in, I think, 14 states now.
Wow.
Blues Brothers and Belushi's Farm, yeah. So Gold Leaf out of Birmingham, Alabama's got this great state-of-the-art facility where they can make everything, all the packaging, and ship it. They have portals. Like if you were growing, in New Mexico. You can go online, get the portal, and tell them what you have. They have all the state compliance, and you can order right from there, and it's shipped. It's crazy. It's crazy cool.
What's been the biggest change for you going from one state to 14?
You gotta stay on them. You gotta make sure they're keeping their grows clean. Everybody I partnered up with, we had choices in every state of different growers. And I literally have to go down there and check it out. Make sure their context is right, that they're on the medicine trail and not just on the money trail.
Yeah.
Make sure their standard operating procedures are similar to ours. Checking out their equipment, making sure they have dehumidifiers. Checking out their grow, checking out how they process it. And what they're manufacturing. Some of them are manufacturing edibles that are fantastic. I mean, fantastic. There's some great cooks out there. And most of them, if not all of them, of those chefs are in it for a reason. Like the one woman in Arizona, she's terrific. She started making cookies for her sister who had cancer. So she really developed this whole thing around medicine, and then kind of moved into this small grow that became bigger. And she's coming up with such great stuff. I mean, popcorn, cotton candy. I mean, she's crazy. And she understands that I like full spectrum gummies. I don't like stuff made from distillate. I think it's a little too psychoactive and not as much medicine, So yeah, I have to make sure in every state that they're doing it the way I believe, but also I've learned a lot from them too. So it's a nice collaboration. It's fun collaborating with them. I mean, even on the show, we go through in Massachusetts and we make brick hash. And we do the whole process with this guy, Vinny, I mean, he's a scientist. Oh, that brick hash is fabulous. It's selling out everywhere in the state. And it's like, wow, can we bring this brick hash and this formulation processing to Shelbyville in Illinois? And then we're also talking to other partners about maybe bringing this, it's what's difficult is a lot of travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that gets exhausting.
Collaborations have been just fantastic.
That's great. What's on the horizon for Belushi Farms and Blues Brothers brands? What have you got coming up that you're excited about?
Well, the Shelbyville in Illinois, we're going to be releasing pretty much, but we have the whole grow ourselves. We're managing it. We're going to release in Illinois, my home state, very shortly. I'm very excited about that.
I bet.
We're going to do a little Blues Brothers concert in Joliet to launch it in September. That's exciting. We have an application into Florida, which is very competitive, but that's kind of exciting opportunity if that happens. It's a wonderful state and the medicine is needed there. Let's see what else we got going. Just busting out new states.
Yeah, that's
I was on the phone today with 7 Clovers about the strains, which strains. They're starting to plant right now. They're planting. We went through all what they were doing with the seeds we sent, the pheno hunt, how they found it. what they found, the testing, what choices we're making, and about launching there. It's fun. Every day I'm like talking to people in our industry that are knowledgeable, and all the people I deal with all have great purpose in mind.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it's going well. Is there anything you'd like to share with our audience that maybe we didn't touch on during our chat?
Oh, I mean, your audience is
so Cannabis and Tech Today talks to you're looking at a lot of other industry folks and then like high-end consumers.
Well, to the industry folks, don't give up.
Yeah, good call.
Don't give up. Just bring it down a little bit. Hold on.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to fire your grower. There's a lot of growers out there. Good ones. Growers are like chefs. Temperamental. Woo. Everybody asks me, what's my number one advice for someone, that's growing? My number one advice is, don't be afraid to fire your grower. Don't let him box you in a position where you can't exist without him. That's just not true. Sometimes you get rid of a grower and you get a new one, and all of a sudden things really bloom,
True.
So don't be afraid. And to the high-end consumer, we're bringing great weed to your state because the birth of it's in Oregon. In Oregon and Northern California, when they break down those federal lines and we can ship it, everyone is it's going to be Napa wine. We grow the greatest cannabis. I don't know, it's the air, it's the water. It's like pizza crust and bagels in New York. It's like, why is it so good there? It's the water, right? In Oregon, we grow great product there. So we're trying to bring that to every state. So check it out when you get it. We got some very unique strains. There's a whole episode about how we went to get Big Sur Holy Weed. Ooh, this one strain we got, the sage. People are going to really like it. It's reminiscent of those old school strains from the late 60s, early 70s that were fun.
Mm-hmm.
They're not on the couch. I don't like that on the couch stuff. Some people need it, and that's appropriate, but I want the stuff that's fun, makes you feel good, not paranoid, So we got a lot of those kinds of strains. Santa Marta Gold, the old Colombian strain. I can go on and on about the strains, but to those consumers, we got some good stuff coming up. Keep your eye open, especially for that for cash. That was good.
Awesome. Well, it's always so fun to talk with you, Jim, and I appreciate you breaking up your spa day to give me some of your insight.
Well, I haven't washed my hair, Just got a massage,
Well, perfect. It's coming through in the vibe. You're very relaxed. I like it.
It's you. I love talking with you. You're the best. You're the best. The best. I just love talking with you.
If you enjoyed this episode and want to learn more about emerging cannabis technologies, be sure to like this podcast and subscribe to Cannabis Tech Talks. You can pick up the most recent issue of Cannabis and Tech Today on Barnes & Noble newsstands or grab a copy for free on cannatechtoday.com. This podcast is produced in part by Pretty Easy Podcasts. Visit prettyeasypodcast.com if you're looking for professional production quality at an affordable rate. Until next time, stay elevated.